Welcome, welcome. First of all, thank you for joining us. We come from different backgrounds, have different opinions, different fans, and yet we still come together to talk about what unifies us, our struggle with bipolar disorder. Now, and to answer your questions, of course. Now, this pandemic has greatly impacted the mental health of our community, and so hopefully this will provide solace to those who need to feel like they're not alone, and hopefully educate and entertain as well. Now, let's start with introductions. My name is Jamie Smith.
Gabriel Martin Juarez.
Ashley, but you can call me Ash.
Paulette, so what now? Do we start complaining or sit silently and judge each other on appearances?
We're here to learn.
I thought we were here to talk.
And to go on tangents if it takes us there.
Oh, well, all right. Ask me your questions. I'll answer them all.
We'll all answer them.
A great place for us to start is the most frequent question from family members of the recently diagnosed. How would you describe what it's like living with bipolar disorder?
Well, for me, it's like there's a war going on inside of my head.
Yeah, mania feels like riding lightning, and depression feels like life snuffed out.
Just skip me for now. Okay, you go.
Okay, well, it inspires me to write. Or that's what I would like to believe. Either way, it's my best attempt at relating to the rest of the world, which I sometimes lose touch with, to be honest.
I bet it's hard to find something everyone can relate to when it comes to psychosis.
Yeah, but I try to relate to it for a broader audience, so that they don't simply write off characters as crazy or a danger to society, which they have often done and done to me in the past.
For me, I try to fall back on explaining my compulsion to count as a billion little ants fighting for control of my brain. I count the number of steps I take, the number of times I turn a knob, lock the doors, how many steps I take to the car. All the while, my thoughts are racing and irritability is on the rise.
Your painting of that's actually what brought me to your channel.
So what brought you to mine?
Arguments in the comments section.
So what about you, Gabriel Juarez? Are you an opinionated, enlightened man or an idiot?
I'm a man of God.
Gabriel's channel focuses on spirituality and religion.
I'm here because my viewers want to be represented when there are more vocal non-believers like yourselves who are painting this issue with a single brushstroke.
Well, I'm glad they recognize you need help.
What is even the point of trying to share if you're just going to keep patronizing me?
We want to hear what your experiences are. That's why you and the rest of us are even here.
I see things sometimes. It's like there's this thing provoking me to fight or to sin.
Been there. Most of us have had hallucinations and delusions of grandeur.
Let's just move on.
Several of our viewers wanted to know if any of us have ever tried to kill ourselves. I'm sure I can speak for most of the bipolar community, but we'll open it up for you all to share your experiences on this one.
Definitely goes with the territory.
Stopped counting after attempts at ages 15, 17, and 20.
Once, at 10, was so terrified to be alone that I could close my eyes and, see them clear as day. Tortured monsters huddled around, waiting for me to give in and take my own life.
Too much of a coward to go through with it?
Seriously?
Maybe I phrased it insensitively. Let me try again. So, did you go through with it or how did you pull through?
I had a vision of a biblical hell as vivid as you or I.
Ugh.
Scared me so badly that I broke down and cried, praying for God to take away the fear and pain, to take away the demons that constantly tortured me.
Did he?
Not yet.
Our next question is, are you medicated, and or what medication do you recommend? I can't really recommend anything, but because for what works for one doesn't necessarily work for the other. But I myself take medication twice a day.
Not me.
Sorry. I couldn't get through the day without it, but if the GOP gets rid of the Affordable Care Act, I'm screwed.
How about you, Paulette?
Not if you're referring to illicit drugs or religious practices, which are the same thing.
They're not the same thing.
Sure they are. The only difference between a drug addict and a religious addict is with the drug addict, it's either fix me or leave me alone. And with the religious people, you throw in a little bit of you're blessed or you're cursed, and voila, you have a Christian. Look, if you think I'm being an asshole, that's fine. What's right can be cruel, what's wrong can be kind. So either way, you're morally fucked. That's my philosophy. Okay, all right, I'm done. Your turn.
Thank you.
All right, our next question is, does religion play a part in your perspective on the disorder? Gabriel, I know you have much more to talk about this. Where do you want to start?
19 years old. I go to church to get some peace of mind, and then it hits me again. A seizure of a sort, and I begin to see the world differently. I see angels and demons in the church, attached to some while hovering next to others. Periodically, the angels will sing, and the demons will scream, but for the most part they hover still, waiting for a change. You tell me, is that a gift or a disorder?
That just means you're crazy.
Knock it off.
Tell me I'm wrong.
We, those of us who are born like this, are at our best opinionated, like yourself, and at worst, sick. Not crazy.
I'm not sick.
Just unequivocally wrong.
I honestly take issue with that as well. Chaos can bring beauty where sicknesses can only bring disorder. But as for you, Paulette, you consistently and reprehensibly oversimplify life in order to justify your pessimistic perspectives.
I don't think you have the higher ground here. You passed judgment on me the minute I logged on.
No, I used to watch your channel, so I know your content, and it wasn't until you opened your mouth during this little chat that I realized your abrasiveness wasn't an act. When I thought it was funny.
You have a problem with genuine behavior?
Oh, what I have a problem with is you tearing down others without letting them speak their mind. You're never going to reach them otherwise.
I'm not looking for converts.
Then why are you being such a prick?
Look, I want people to think and to challenge what they're fed with evidence, not emotion. And my being abrasive is the only way that I know how to do that. And you have the balls to criticize my behavior when you clearly have no issue with Hallucination Boy's harmful doctrine.
They're not hallucinations. They're gifts that are burdens.
See what I mean?
For what purpose, Gabriel, really?
To bear witness to the spiritual world and prove its existence.
There's no evidence to support that existence.
Especially when they're hallucinations.
They're not hallucinations.
Oh, I forgot. That's right. They're religious experiences.
Can you honestly say you haven't seen things?
We all have.
Yeah, but some of us have the wherewithal not to follow our emotions that are as unreliable as God's intervention in a time of need.
Just because I believe that.
But it's still okay to play make-believe?
And your beliefs are better? Just pushing for pills and pessimism as band-aids for deeper wounds?
Like what?
Trauma, massive trauma.
You expect me to listen to what pharmaceutical companies' educational material on bipolar disorder say when they're the ones producing a product for a difficulty that only you can deal with? It's like they're saying, here's what's wrong with you, and this is why you need our brand new product. But you won't accept that maybe I have another way to deal with something that many people deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Are you, or are you just ignoring it in hopes that it will get better? Because I can tell you from experience, it gets worse without medication.
We have another question to move on to, if that's okay.
Alrighty.
Good.
What did you do when you were first diagnosed?
According to Ashley's opinion, apparently I ignored it.
That's not what I said.
So what did you do then?
I searched for whatever information I could find online.
That's when I stumbled across an online group
that deals entirely with creative minds with bipolar. I had to leave those groups, not
Because of the whiners.
because of the more honest and tragic stories.
There were some, they were just like too difficult. I couldn't deal with them emotionally. So there was this one girl who was raised in a Baptist family. And when she was diagnosed with the disorder, her family began to systematically beat her. They believed that the disorder was brought about by sin and that she had to be purified. And so, of course, when their purifications didn't result in any change, they and her entire church excommunicated her. Just the ignorance and the hatred of these people, I just couldn't understand it.
The thing is, Angel Boy,
Don't call me that.
the thing is, Gabriel, you're trying to boil people down into two categories, bipolars and normies, or Christians and non-Christians. People are just people, regardless of their associations or their deficiencies.
Both of your perspectives are incomplete. Our disorder deals with both emotions and science, not just one.
But you can't just take experience as truth either, or else it'll lead you down a rabbit hole of baseless claims that border delusions.
Why don't you just say it to get it off your chest?
What do you mean?
You're leading into an attack on my faith.
I'm just saying that what you're experiencing might not be a spiritual occurrence.
I believe God made me for a purpose.
Of course he did, but he also uses our loved ones to let us know when something is wrong and provides us with the resources we need to get help.
Nothing is wrong with me. I'm fine.
And if you're fine, why are you here?
I'm here because my followers wanted me to be here. Because I do not necessarily buy into scientific theories that go directly against my faith. Why should I believe them? You say that I'm sick, but I know that I'm different. And that sets me apart in the best of ways, regardless of the pain it brings me.
At what point do we dismiss all evidence in favor of our own beliefs? You have all the hallmarks of the disorder, yet you come here to deny it. I don't think so. You know it's possible for people to be easily swayed by their emotions. How can you be sure that what you have is a spiritual gift and not a chemical imbalance? What if all this mental gymnastics is just there to accommodate a lie?
That's why he's here. He's afraid he's wrong. And that's hard to come to terms with.
Are you questioning your beliefs?
No. I'm just trying to understand what it's like for other people going through the same type of hell.
Okay, so if they, the unbeliever, are going through the same experiences you are, how does that make your situation special?
There has to be a purpose for this emotional turmoil. There needs to be a reason.
For what reason?
Because it's hell. This life, this torment that I endure, cannot be meaningless. Otherwise, what is the point of even living through it?
It doesn't have to be meaningless. You can give it purpose without letting it deceive you. That's why I paint. I give it meaning. I give it purpose, even if it doesn't innately have one.
So what do I do then?
Our only real alleviation from it is treatment, a healthy lifestyle, emotional support. And that's why things like this are so important. It gives us a place to escape between the fleeting moments of happiness.
Someone's headed for depression.
Probably.
It's the disorder. It's our lives.
It's us.
Now that we've covered that, how about we reminisce on all the coping mechanisms that have been robbed from us during this lockdown, and for the sake of drinking and swearing, let's do it unrecorded for pure fun. Why don't we meet back here in 10 minutes with our favorite drink of choice and get started?
Drink sounds like heaven.
I deserve one.
How about you, Angel Boy? Ready to set all the bullshit aside and get plastered together?
If I have the ingredients, I'll make a Four Seasons float and a virgin mojito if I'm feeling adventurous.
Better stay with us, Gabriel.
I will. And thank you. You gave me something to think about.
Glad this helped. See you 3 in 10. And for our viewers, thank you for watching. I know this took some wild tangents, but the truth of it is that bipolar disorder is complicated, and it's simply part of our lives. And for those who would suggest that we can't be lovers, workers, parents, go fuck yourself. We bipolars know how to party. Peace be with you. I'm out. Subscribe.